It's a new era and a new dawn. Good morning to you wherever you are. You're welcome to GHOne News. I am the award-winning television female newscaster of the year 2025. My name is Mohammed. Let's look at our top stories as are. Coming up, ruling NDC promises to ensure an end to vote buying as the party intensifies efforts to investigate allegations of the conquer during last Saturday's primaries in Iowa East as the majority caucus calls for a rerun. This afternoon, we take a look at prospective names for future honors as Ghana considers renaming the Kotoka International Airport. Also, Aboseo Kainspe over new VAT law, describing it as extra burden on traders. In business this afternoon, new cocoa sector bill to be laid in Parliament to enhance sustainability. That's according to the CEO of Cocoa Board, Dr. Randy Abbey. We have details of these and many others all in the 60 Minutes built. Stay with me. And I am Mohammed. Member of the NDC communications team, Hamza Sohini, has reacted to the controversy surrounding alleged voter inducement during the Iowa East parliamentary primaries, describing it as a defining moment for the party's internal reforms. Speaking on GH Today, Hamza stated that the NDC will not entertain inducement politics, describing the development as a golden opportunity for political reform, stressing that inducement culture, including the distribution of items and goodies, is not a National Democratic Congress they know.
The problem with it, especially for those of us in the National Democratic Congress, is the fact that we made a promise to the good people of this country. And in opposition, when we had video evidence of NPP functionaries engaging in acts we considered untoward and unacceptable as far as our democratic journey is concerned, we condemned it. And we proceeded to unveil a manifesto that was rooted in a very principled position of resetting not just the economy of our country, but our politics in general.
Okay.
So what that meant was that even the NDC as a political party must be willing to reset its own internal practices. So the current posture, that is the statement from the party, the statement from the presidency, and that of the majority in parliament, is not in any way a communication to the effect that this has never happened in the NDC. Absolutely not. The NDC is not a party rooted in hypocrisy. That is not these three statements. That is not a comment. That's not a signal these three statements are sending, Lily. The signal these three statements are sending is that this is a new NDC. And in line with the promise we made to the good people of this country to reset, we would do everything within our power to actually remain committed to the promise to reset our politics. So if you approach it from the perspective, but this has happened before in the NDC or in many other political parties, that is not the discourse. The discourse is that the NDC has promised that it will not entertain acts of this nature going forward. So measure us by our current stance.
Still on the subject of voter inducement, Programs Manager and Team Lead for Local and Urban Governance, Paul Anakwabena Abrampamensa, has lauded the NDC leadership and party structures for their response to allegations of voter inducement in the IRC East Parliamentary primaries. Also speaking on GH today, Mr. Abrampamensa commended the party for publicly denouncing the acts and demanding accountability. He, however, cautioned against the growing normalization of inducement, stressing that the failure to distinguish between gift-giving, bribery and corruption remains a major problem in Ghana's political space.
People involved in this act, that singular act needs acknowledgement, because in the past, you rather see party gurus structure coming to defend and in defending in the tone of equalization. That has been the structure of the country now. So for the party structure, for the governments and for the caucus in parliament to have come out to condemn it and demanding action itself is a right step that we need to follow. As my colleague said, that is a good step. Our problem at Kodeo, it's not the fact that this thing is going on. It's the fact that people don't actually sit down to differentiate what is gift-giving and bribery and corruption. Expecting that, side by side, the two actions that have been initiated, the NDC is doing its investigation, expecting results by Tuesday. The OSP has said it's also going to do its investigation. I don't know how it's going because the OSP said the same thing. I think in one of the eastern region, when they were doing confirmation of DCs, and a certain DC went back to demand what he paid to the delegates. The OSP took the matter up. I didn't see how it ended. So I'm not sure, even if the OSP went into this one, how it will end. But looking at the laws here, we have laws that back this bribery and corruption. I think it should be followed to the latter. I don't want the internal party processes to compromise the legal one that borders on criminality.
So there are calls for the annulment of the parliamentary primaries, especially on the back of the voter inducement, evidence of voter inducement. And my colleague Obed King-Glo is in IRC East as we speak. He wants to engage constituents. What are their thoughts on a possible rerun of that particular primaries, subject to the report by the committee, which is expected to conclude by tomorrow. Obed, I can see that you're right in front of the party office, the NDC party office. Walk us through what constituents have been telling you so far.
Yeah,
thank you very much, Lady Mohammed. So currently we are in the Ayawasu East constituency, specifically at the Nima roundabout, where the constituency office of the NDC is located. And we are here to find out from constituents what they make of the decision of the party to constitute an investigative body to find out what exactly went on about the alleged vote buying, and also find out the mood in the constituency, as it is obvious that without or with that investigation, the election will still be ongoing, because we see some independent candidates campaigning already for the by-election. But let me go on and speak to some of the party folks who are here this morning, find out what they make of the decision by the NDC party hierarchy to investigate the alleged vote buying. You're live on GHOne TV. Tell us who you are and what you make about the decision of the party to investigate what went on Saturday. I
am Tijani Abdulmomin, popularly known as TJ. I am a loyalist of Honorable Baba Jamal. I came all the way from Kumasi, Ashanti region, former regional Zongo Caucus communication officer, Ashanti region. Last 2 weeks I was here, and we've gone through all the campaigns with Baba. On the very day of the election, I was part and parcel of the team that went and campaigned vigorously for Baba to win. Baba won with over 32 votes. What people are speculating, saying about Baba, that he has shared TV to delegates, to me as a loyalist, is not true. Even though I've seen people sharing TV to delegates. But what I want to let you know and understand, that those TV sets you saw weren't coming from Baba. It was coming from Baba's friends who came to donate to people.
Interesting.
Do you understand? It was a gift to Baba's to the delegates. So Baba didn't do that on his own.
Right. But have you seen a video where Baba Jamal is seen admitting of sharing, and even went on to say that he gives people all the time?
Yes. What Baba said is different from what the media is saying. Baba said it's a gift. And he didn't say he gave the TV as a gift.
If it will induce people, then it amounts to vote buying.
Baba started gifting people since 2023 in this Ayawaso constituency. Ayawaso East. As I speak, Baba currently is having an interest-free loan he has commissioned in this Ayawaso, giving it to the women. And he started with 1 million Ghana cedis. Currently, it's about 2.5 million cedis. Each and every year, Baba gives out gifts to Christians during their programs like Easter and other programs. When you come to the Muslim, to during Hajj, during Salah, Baba gifts to people. So Baba is a philanthropist. Right. He gives out.
So what do you make of the decision by the party to investigate?
Well, what I want the party to know is that we have seen those who have given things to delegates to induce the election. The chairman gave out 113 motorbikes with the videos.
So let me put on record that the investigation is not limited to Baba Jamal. So all of them are going to be investigated.
But why is it that the media is only centered on Baba Jamal? Are you aware? All the backlashes and everything are centered on Baba Jamal. Are you aware that according to Musa Dankwa, the 168 MPs are against Baba Jamal? Right. Are you aware that 3 days to the election, some MPs went to the Haji Amine's house to donate 100,000 to her? Don't you know that one too could influence the election?
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much for your submission. Let me speak to some of your friends who are also here. You are welcome to GHOne TV.
Thank you so much, my brother.
Tell us, you are aware that the party hierarchy has instituted a body to investigate what went on Saturday. What do you make of that?
Yes, we are aware. First of all, my name is Abdurrauf Tiaini. Yeah, we are aware. It is in a good cause. But let me tell you the genesis of this win. There was last primaries that we went. There were 3 contestants. The incumbent MP, may he rest in peace, Baba Jamal and Dr. Yakubu Azindo. They were all yearning for change. Yes, there was a change, but the formula was wrong. There was a change, but the formula was wrong. When you add the 2 votes of that of Azindo and that of Jamal Baba Jamal, it was over the incumbents. So there was the change, the formula that they used was wrong. This time around, there was a change. The change, 4 of them were against one particular person. The number 1, number 3, number 4, and number 5. Yes, the formula they brought, yes, it worked in. The one that, contestant number 1, Mohammed Ramni, was in the same, the same gang with this particular woman, Amina. So when he broke away, they split the vote. The vote became very open. So Baba Jamal has his own way and still true.
Right. But I want to ask you what you make of the decision. But let me speak to the constituency secretary, who is the man in charge of the constituency. Hello, sir. Please come closer to me. Let's speak. You are live on GHOne TV. Please introduce yourself and tell us who you are.
I'm Alhaji Ishaq Ibrahim Dangaladima.
And you are the
acting chairman.
Right. We know the chairman contested,
yes,
and so he is no longer the chairman of the constituency. Yeah. And you are aware that the party hierarchy is investigating what went on. As constituency executives, how do you receive that news?
No, we received the news on not a palatable manner. That's why we sat on the meeting today to discuss our way forward. But we have concluded that since the party hierarchy have formed a committee to see to this issue, we have to leave it to them to deal with it. By tomorrow, they say by tomorrow, they will give you the verdict.
Do you support the decision?
Which decision are you talking about?
To investigate.
They are superior than us. So what they thought, we will abide by it.
Let me speak to some of the women. Hajia, welcome to GHOne TV.
Thank you.
We know that they are saying they are investigating the matter. You can speak Chi. You can speak Chi. You can speak Chi. What do you make of the decision? Do you think that Baba Jamal is being treated unfairly?
Yes, it's true. And I mean, come on, Baba Jamal, Bamu Kabashi Sarauta, Allah Bashi Sarauta, Baba Jamal. Oh,
go on, please.
And I mean, come on, Jamal is the Ewasu, but it's respect in the kill. And I mean, come on, Baba Jamal, Bamu Kabashi Sarauta, but Allah Bashi Sarauta. Kuma mo agree that manya rich kama no matter what do one day chiki constituency munga mo support as a constituency executive ni constituency executive na East Iowa Suni muka agree kama do one day chi ko ajiami na tachi ko azindo echi ko wane na echi mo come together as the party mo support candidate na mo campaign mo je by election mo samu city mo back ama when yara bakaya when yai menene su ya kuri parliament kokosu na suruka kokosu su subari mujida constituency mu when be yezo control mu tiki East Iowa su NDC mu ke so muna so party mu city mu ezau na de kel signal mu ke ga manya party mu su ya kuri Sabodala, I'm constituency executive for East Iowa.
Let me explain to those who don't understand the language. Explain to us what he's saying, and then you go on to say what you want to say. What is Aja saying?
Basically, she was saying that it is the Lord who instills chiefs or kings, and that she feels that Baba Jamal is the chosen one by the good Lord, and that whoever has any issues should just put it aside, because as a constituency executive member, she doesn't think that anything went wrong, and so it is just unfair for anybody to try and throw dust into the eyes of the general public.
Well, obviously, a number of them are loyalists of Baba Jamal. Thankfully, the committee will submit its report tomorrow, and we'll find out what their recommendations will be. But let's find out what your thoughts are on social media. Nanama, what are people saying? How are they reacting?
Well, Lily, we worked over the weekend and it was quite an interesting Saturday. Let's go to Bright Income, who says, start from the general election. This country, we need to renew our minds. We also, let me click that there. We have Wilson, OSP, please focus, talking about the investigation. You have some cases pending. Ken, he says, is still at large. Salifa says, everyday investigations that would not yield any results. Faisal, it was Ramadan Sadaka, I see. King Stephen says the woman gave 5K and all that. You should talk about that one too. So they say the investigation is for the issues in general. Yeah, so we have here, I can call him. Most of them are scared of Baba Jamal's victory and the possibility of him competing with them for ministerial or juicy positions. He has what many of them lack as legislators. Farouk says vote buying is a serious offence in Ghana, undermining the integrity of our democratic process. Kwame says, look at Baba Jamal. You are going to face the music. Get ready. Be real and truthful. Catherine says there's no need to rerun. I think the man who won is the most qualified. Yao says, or asks, who in Parliament has not, I think he meant to say, benefited from vote buying? Is it because your preferred candidate didn't win? I wish President Mahama can put measures in place to end vote buying, even though he has also benefited. I see. We have Asamoah Yao here. Very unfair treatment to Baba Jamal, and sure, people were having their preferred candidate whom didn't win, so they want to use all tactics to take him out. Oliver Trumasi, as parliamentary elections are around the corner for both NDC and MPP, more cancellations and articulations. You also have Thomas, OSP must be serious. We have serious corruption issues to think about, not vote buying. Several correction issues are begging for investigation and citizens are getting frustrated. From Wuntumi to Gifty Owari, it's over a year, he says, and no results. Kwame Oting, this OSP is just not serious because NDC vote buying scandal erupted quickly. He throws in NPP. It's sad. And this is what you had to tell us. Continue to send us your messages on Instagram, Facebook, and on X. Let's see what happens after the investigation is completed. My name is Nanama Akwa. Lily, back over to you.
Thank you very much, Sana, for those thoughts and comments of our numerous viewers. Let's now head to the courts, shall we? Richard Asare-Boafo, lawyer for popular self-styled evangelist Patricia Siedua, widely known as Nana Aguada, says there was no evidence to support some of the charges that led to Aguada's conviction. Speaking on the Morning Star with Nadi Tete, he argued that the prosecution repeatedly changed its case and pointed to what he described as procedural irregularities during the trial. According to him, if the court had properly considered these issues, the convictions for defrauding by false pretenses and charlatanic advertisement should have been set aside.
It pays attention to procedure, because when we talk about justice, justice is not just about substantive justice. We're also talking about procedural justice. So we saw that based on how the trial happened in that particular court, any court who was interested in justice, based on what transpired, should not uphold the conviction. This is because prosecution kept changing their case. Firstly, most Ghanaians may even think Agrada had been jailed because he had engaged in money doubling exercise. That was what Ghanaians were made to believe. But as the case started and the witnesses were brought to court, they denied that Mama Party never promised doubling anybody's money for him or her. Based on that, prosecution changed their charge sheets. Then they created an impression that the whole criminal enterprise happened under the cover of darkness. That at some point, Mama Pat got his people to turn off the lights. And during that darkness, the whole thing happened. Then again, when the witnesses were challenged, they saw that whatever they were saying did not happen. Prosecution went back and also changed their charge sheet again to take those elements off. And whilst they kept changing the charge sheet, some technicalities were playing out. So technically, we are saying that the evidence that the trial judge and even the appellate judge relied on were not in evidence technically and strictly so-called. So on that basis, we felt that if we were to pay attention to the procedure, then no evidence was presented before the court in respect of count 1 and count 3 to ground the conviction in the first place. But the appellate court listened to us, and he made it very clear that this is a criminal case, and he wasn't going to allow the case to turn on technicalities or procedural irregularities. So the whole judgment was given as though everything was irregular. So we are saying that, yes, we agree to some extent with the appellate court, but then it shouldn't be just about the technicalities aspect of it. But we believe that another assessment should have been made, that the procedural irregularities we are complaining about, they did occasion substantial miscarriage of justice to the convict. If the answer is yes, we believe.
Let's still stay in court. The pre-trial hearing in the case of the former Chief Executive Officer of the National Petroleum Authority, Mustafa Abdul Hamid, and 9 others for extortion has been referred to the court registry for reassignment. Now, this follows the introduction of a special court session by the Chief Justice for some specific cases. The former NPA boss, charged together with 9 others, including 3 companies, by the Office of the Special Prosecutor on 54 counts, have pleaded not guilty and have been granted bail in court on a Monday, February 9, when Justice Audrey Kokuvite called for a case management conference. The parties were referred to the registry after an in-camera session. Let's find out more from our legal affairs correspondent, Mutala Inusa. Captain, thank you for joining me. Good morning to you. What more can you share with us at this time on this particular case?
Thank you for having me, and congratulations, Lily.
Thank you.
I must say that yes, the case was for case management conference where the parties are to come and sort out the modalities, look at the specification that has been filed by the Office of the Special Prosecutor every Sunday, whether what the OSP has is the same thing that the court has, and also the same thing that accused persons also have. Then the court will look at that. If there's a need for the accused person to request for certain documents, all these things will be sorted out. Witnesses that are supposed to come, what kind of languages they will be speaking, and whether provisions should be made for digital or technology or tools, equipment, when there is a video or audio to be played. This is where all these things are done under case management conference. And remember that for some time now, the Chief Justice has been pointing to the fact that there will be a specialized court that will come to being to deal with some specialized cases. Truly so, within the course of last week, some circulars have gone around, including asking the court, the High Court specifically, to extend the working hours from 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., all in line to ensure that the specialized court suspension comes to fruition. And then fast forward, we've been told that specific cases have been earmarked to take place under these specialized cases. And so this very case involving the former NPA boss, Mustafa Hamid, happens to be one of the cases because the CJ per the circular mentioned categorically that the cases that are managing from the office of the special prosecutor will form part or come under the specialized court that has been set up to deal with these specialized cases. So when the matter came out, the parties were engaged in chambers by Justice Audrey Kokuvide, after which they were referred to go and see the registrar. Seeing the registrar means that case, the trial is yet to begin. That case is one of the cases that will be referred to the designated courts that have been earmarked to deal with some of these cases. So primarily, that is what took place in relation to the Mustafa Hamid case when it came up in court today.
Okay, Captain, let me find out from you if you have any latest update on the case involved surrounding the Bokuna Bastu and who is the legitimate chief, especially in regards to Saidu Abagri. What's the latest on that? Do you know?
Well, really, we don't know that Alhaji Saidu Abagri has been charged for holding himself as a chief without qualification. He is pleaded not guilty and he has been remanded. Today, he's expected in court this afternoon at 1 p.m. If you come to the premises of the law court complex, it is evident that security arrangement has been made to ensure that everything that has to do with safety of everyone who comes to the facility on an ordinary day, the facility is protected, there are officers around. But in respect of this very case, once you've made your way into the law court complex, the arrangement is such that you know that something is happening. And that thing that is happening is in relation to Alhaji Abagri's appearance in court. So this afternoon, he's expected in court, and the prosecution is expected to apprise the court on the matters so far where we have gotten to disclosures and other matters that the court attention will be drawn to, and orders of the court will be given from there. Alhaji Abagri is expected in court this afternoon in relation to the Boko chieftaincy issues.
Right. Thank you very much, Captain. I'll continue to monitor and update us subsequently. Let's now focus on another aspect of the judiciary. This regards to reforms. Now, Ghana's justice system is under pressure with overstretched courts, prolonged trials, and overcrowded prisons. Now, the judiciary is rolling out new measures aimed at speeding up justice delivery and easing congestion across the system. At the heart of the challenge facing Ghana's system is growing congestion in the courts and its ripple effect on the country's prisons.
Delayed trials, prolonged remand periods, and case backlogs continue to overwhelm correctional facilities, keeping many remand prisoners incarcerated longer than legally necessary. In response, the judiciary is introducing a shift court system, with judges sitting in morning and afternoon sessions, building on the existing use of Saturday courts. The move is aimed at speeding up case disposal and gradually reducing the backlog of cases.
Esaon prison was built for about 850 or 57 people, but now, at no one point in time will you find less than 3,000 people in the prisons. So the prisons are choked. I know most of you who have traveled out or have read about even night courts in other areas. We are not there yet, but this is the beginning. One of the ways of decongesting the courts is through these morning and afternoon courts.
Beyond the shift system, the Chief Justice has also announced the rollout of specialized courts to handle cases involving cybercrime, illegal mining, human trafficking, and cross-border crimes.
The specialized courts we are going to roll out, we would need your help. These are the areas that I want us to have some kind of collaboration.
However, the Chief Justice believes that reforms cannot succeed in isolation. He stressed that effective justice delivery depends on strong collaboration among the judiciary, the prison service, the police service, immigration, and other security agencies.
We are not just going to be individual institutions. If we all decided that we're going to just stick to our mandates without collaborating, I don't think we will be able to get anywhere.
To drive this cooperation, the Chief Justice has adopted a hands-on approach, personally engaging stakeholders to align efforts against court congestion, prison overcrowding, and emerging criminal threats. His message is clear. Only through dialogue, coordination, and shared responsibility can Ghana build a justice system that is efficient, fair, and fit for purpose.
In other news, in a corner of the country where help rarely reaches, a simple visit turned into a powerful reminder that someone still cares. As the Slime Friends Foundation marks 9 years of service, the youth-led charity chose to celebrate not with speeches, but with presence, compassion, and action. The foundation brought hope to Kubemu, a deprived community in the central region, making it a day many residents say they will never forget.
For 9 years, the Slime Friends Foundation has quietly lived out its motto, changing lives one heart at a time. This year's anniversary was different. Instead of celebration halls and fanfare, the foundation chose Kubemu, a deprived community near Asen-Yamebechere, where access to basic services remain a daily struggle. Foundation members say the decision was intentional. They were told of a place where needs are many and support is rare.
Kubemu is a very deprived community and they lack a lot of things. I have a good friend who works here and she told me about the place. And coming here is truly, they're actually going through it. And then we are very happy that CFF came here today.
On arrival, they were met by community leaders, residents, and a head teacher who described the visit as the first of its kind.
We met the head teacher and then he was really happy to welcome us because this is the first time something like this has ever happened. And then we are very happy and glad that we came here.
Moving on, traditional leadership, public health and education took center stage in Winneba and the Boko West district of the Upper East region as the chief raised concerns over pregnant women shunning antenatal care. Maternal mortality remains a major public health concern in many rural parts of Ghana, with devastating consequences for families and communities. This report highlights more.
In districts like Boko West, the death of a mother during pregnancy or childbirth often leaves children vulnerable to poor health, malnutrition, and school dropouts, while families are pushed deeper into poverty. In communities such as Winneba, some pregnant women delay or avoid antenatal care and skilled delivery, increasing the risk of preventable complications like excessive bleeding, infections, and high blood pressure. Health workers and the divisional chief of Winneba in the Boko West district warn that most maternal death can be avoided with early and regular medical care. They stressed that taking pregnancy-related healthcare seriously is critical to saving lives.
Pregnancy is not a disease, but a delicate journey that requires care, professional attention, and clinical visit. You are not just risking your life, but also the life of your unborn baby, as well as losing the entire chiefdom.
The call was made during the second edition of the Winneba Samampede Festival, a Thanksgiving celebration to their gods and ancestors for a successful farming season.
I, as a chief of this community, want when there is going to be a record of maternal death, Winneba will be recorded 0. We want every pregnancy to end in joy. Take your maternity community seriously.
The festival also promotes unity, peace, and cultural pride among the Kusasi people.
Now, the Minister for Health, Kwabena Minta-Akando, has begun engagement with stakeholders, civil society organizations and the media on the implementation of the free primary healthcare policy. The rollout of the policy is expected to be launched in the first week of April. Speaking with the media on the subject, the minister noted that the policy is part of efforts in achieving universal healthcare delivery in Ghana.
As part of our effort to attain universal health coverage, His Excellency the President has a number of policies that are interconnected. You cannot have policies in silos to work perfectly. So, especially in the health sector, there's a lot of reforms going on in the health sector. We have realized that financing is part of the challenges hindering our attainment of the universal health coverage. So His Excellency the President, as part of his 2024 campaign message, said he was going to rule out a free primary health care for people, every Ghanaian in the country. And so the rationale behind it is that, look, the national health insurance as we have it at the moment, every Ghanaian is contributing to the national health insurance fund. And so if every Ghanaian is contributing to the national health insurance fund, then there should be that minimum benefit to every Ghanaian. And therefore, you don't need to necessarily pay anything to access at least a primary health care. All you need is to identify yourself as a Ghanaian or legally resident in Ghana. The policy framework is ready. And once the policy framework is ready, in order to take everybody along, we are doing series of stakeholders consultations so that everybody will be taken along. It's our expectation that we roll it out as early as possible. We shouldn't go beyond the first week of April. And so there's a lot of work to be done.
The business news is up next.
The Business Brief is brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
In business news this afternoon, the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Cocoa Board, Dr. Randy Abbey, has indicated that the current legal framework of the sector offers no protection for cocoa trees and it needs to be revised. He noted that under the current laws, mineral exploration activities can be carried out without any restrictions, allowing individuals with mineral prospecting licenses to enter cocoa plantations without regard for the economic value of the trees. He further highlighted that a syndicated method of cocoa financing also lacks structured promotion of value addition and must be changed.
To tell us that 3,000 hectares of their farmlands was going to be destroyed for a refinery. A bauxite refinery, 3,000 hectares. But when we check the law, you realize that the cocoa tree is not protected at all. The law that protects the cocoa tree is a 1979 AFRC decree. So obviously, the sanction regime will obviously be something that was thought about around that time. So I jokingly tell people that I can go and destroy a whole plantation of cocoa trees and pay from my pocket. And it has to do with the sanction regime and all that. And as we speak today, there's a law that, for example, the Minerals Commission, on the basis of the law, can grant somebody the right to, they call it, is it exploratory or something? Prospecting license. And then once they give them a prospecting license, they can enter. It's a cocoa farm, they can still enter because they have a license and go and do it. So we needed to look through the legal regime again. There were many things in terms of the pricing for cocoa. We needed to look at it. We needed to look at the new funding model I spoke to you about. We needed to also look at value addition and how we're going to do the value. And I told you how value addition is also hampered by the structure of syndication because you are committing the raw bean and all that. So we met a process of a new Cocoa Board Act, which had been started. So we decided that then we'll take advantage of that and try and speed it up and ensure that we can let this act reflect the current realities and the foreseeable future.
Now, Cocoa Board has also expressed regret for the non-payment of cocoa beans that its licensed buyers have bought from farmers as government works to settle their outstanding payments.
We have been consulting widely with our sector ministry, the Ministry of Finance, and the government itself. And like I said, we appreciate what the farmers are going through. We know that these are very, very difficult times. But we appeal that they keep faith with us. We will find a solution very, very soon, and we'll be able to then deal with all these issues. But just to, I'm just explaining all these things for us to appreciate why we are where we are, and to say that we really, we are not doing anybody a favor. I mean, it is their sweat. They deserve to get their money. They work hard for it. We will ensure that they get exactly that. But this is the situation that we are dealing with.
The president of the Concerned Farmers Association, Nana Obuade Boateng Bonsus, has joined us for a conversation on the back of this. Nana, thank you very much for joining us. Good afternoon to you.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Good afternoon.
Great. Good afternoon to you.
I can hear you.
I know your colleague farmers have raised concerns about non-payments to them. Cocoa Board has assured that it is going to make payments in the shortest possible time. Is this reassuring?
Yeah, thank you very much, and then good afternoon to your viewers, and then all cocoa farmers across the country. This message goes to them. We assure them that at the end of the day, by Monday, we'll hear something good. There will be a good news for us. And then we had a meeting. That was a Friday, and then directives has been made for farmers to be paid. So this payment, cocoa that Cocoa Board has received at their end, which they are going to pay for. So all farmers have to exercise patience as soon as possible. Money, I think by even now, money has been given to the LBCs, and then they are going around doing their payment. So we are going to receive the money as soon as possible, and it is ongoing because they assure us that we are going to receive the money.
Help us understand. I'm sure your colleagues have given you information. How many months are these farmers owed? There are some reports saying 4 months, some saying 3 months. And within the period, what has been the conversation on the table?
Well, we are in the 4th month now, and then the conversation on the table now is about engagement, about dialogue. We need to know how the money is not being paid as at now, and then Cocoa Board has also made it clear for us, and then we've also understand. That is why we've also assured our farmers that it's in pipeline, on the pipeline, and Cocoa Board, as for the assurance that they have given us and the respect that they have also given us, shown us, money will be paid. It is very tough, and then it wasn't easy, because for the past 3 months that you've not received any money, we need to go back to our farms. I mean, some of us are doing pruning. Our kids have to go to school. Our wives have to be getting some money for their turnover jobs and other things, which we find it very difficult. But now I think the worry will worry no more, because money has been allocated for the LBCCs to do what? To pay the farmers.
Now, there have been talks about a possible, not the government, but some members of the minority have raised questions on reduction of prices at the farm gate. They say this because of the previous rate and what we are currently having, which is not commensurate. The price is not commensurate with the current dollar rate. Would you, as farmers, accept a price reduction? Is this something that you're open to?
Well, thank you very much. For now, we are not talking about pricing now. Now we are talking about the money that it has been debt. I mean, the debt that is there, that is what we are talking about for we to receive it. When we have the money finished, and then we can go about reduction or maybe increased pricing, or maybe talking about the payment structures and how payments should be made. That is the next step. But for now, we are looking for the money that is now on debt to be collected. When we receive our money finished, then we can talk about this later.
Some of your colleagues have also stated that they are looking at alternatives. They're looking at selling their farmlands to illegal miners, for instance. Is that something that has come to the attention of the association? How are you addressing it?
Yeah, that is what we have. So this evening we'll be moving. We are touring the 72 cocoa district to educate farmers about this situation on the ground. Because if we're a farmer and you sell your land for a buyer or maybe for a miner, you'll be arrested, and then the miner will also be arrested. We want to make it clear for them. So those that they have an intention that it is their own land, so they can do whatever that they want to do. You can't do that again. The cocoa belongs to the government. It's the state property. You have no right to touch it. If you want to touch your cocoa, you need to come out with a reasonable solution or why you want to cut it. And even that one, we have people, researchers have to come inside for we to know how or why you are cutting this tree. So this is a warning to all farmers across the country that is to exercise patience. Their money will be given to them. The cocoa belongs to the state, as they know, because if you can smuggle a beans of a cocoa and then you'll be arrested, how much more destroying the whole tree? And there's a new law that will be soon be going to Parliament also for them to reinforce. So I'm telling the farmers that now that we are going to receive something sweet, I mean, there are good things that has been coming on the cocoa sector. You dare not touch your cocoa tree. Your cocoa is your gold. Let us hold it tight and then wait for the next 2 years to come. We'll be smiling each and every day, and everything that we want to buy, we can get it. Cocoa price will not be stable. It will be going up, so we need to protect our cocoa trees and make sure that it is our property, and then it is the property also for the state, and they need to be protected.
Do you have timelines as to when you want to receive your monies? Are you looking at in tranches? Are you looking at the bulk of the 4 months that you're owed? And if that timeline elapses, what will be your next line of action?
Well, the money will come in bulk. Everybody is going to receive it money. We are in a chocolate month, and as you know, this very weekend we are heading into the love zone, which has been declared as a chocolate day. So I think Cocoa Board has made up their mind not to leave us alone, but to also give us money so that at the end of the day, we also enjoy with our loved ones.
Okay. That's Nana Boating Bonsu. He is the president of the Concerned Farmers Association. Let's still stay in business. While the Abosokan Spare Parts Dealers Association is threatening a one-week strike to impress upon the government to revise the newly implemented Value-Added Tax Act 2025, Act 1151, which according to them is negatively impacting their businesses. The association emphasized that the new VAT law defeats particularly fairness, competitiveness, and voluntary compliance within the spare parts sector. That should do for the business brief.
The Business Brief was brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
Let's do some more local stories. The widow of the late Member of Parliament for Buakwa North, Joseph Boachi Dankwa Edu, Ivy Hayward Mills, has marked the 10th anniversary of her husband's death with a solemn remembrance and a quiet but powerful call for justice and closure. A decade after the brutal killing of Joseph Kofi Chichie Boachi Dankwa Edu, the pain of loss remains as unanswered questions continue to surround the case, yet to reach a final resolution. On February 9, 2016, the nation was stunned by news that a former MP had been stabbed to death in the early hours of the morning at his residence in Shiashi here in Accra. Police investigations led to the arrest of Daniel Asiedu, popularly known as Sexy Don Don, who was charged with murder and robbery. A second suspect, Vincent Bosu, also known as Junior Agogo, was later acquitted. What followed has been one of the longest and most complicated murder trials in Ghana's recent history. The case has been plagued by jury walkouts and resolved verdicts as well. In late 2024, a 7-member jury delivered a divided decision on the charges against Seidu, compelling the trial judge to discharge the jury and order a retrial under Ghana's Criminal Procedure Act. However, despite the retrial order, proceedings have faced persistent delays with multiple adjournments preventing a final legal determination. The trial has at times stalled due to jury absenteeism and administrative setbacks. The Ghana Union of Traders Association, in partnership with LCB Worldwide, has joined the new job in South Municipal Assembly in the Eastern Region to fumigate major market centers and gutters as part of the National Sanitation Day exercise. Eastern Regional Correspondent GHOne reports.
The exercise targeted key trading areas, including the main GHOne Sawa market and other market centers in New GHOne South municipality, where traders, especially market women, have for years complained about the presence of rodents and insects affecting their business and health. According to the traders, the last major fumigation exercise carried out in the market was in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Because so the most market the media they be boy can say pan say em boy and any boy a boy because market so the more high adwenu bra too much nkura interfere e den wura we be o chance the them into the my mind the ani age me ka me hu bi sada say you spray kromu nyina me hu bi da
ejuma na wo ye no ye ejuma be boa ye wo market ha papa if say moa e high.
Speaking at the exercise, the municipal chief executive for New GHOne South, Ransford Owusu-Boakye, expressed appreciation to GOTA and LCB Worldwide for the timely intervention and partnership, describing it as a major boost to the assembly sanitation efforts.
Disinfest and then fumigate our markets for us. From what I gathered from them, they are doing here, they will go to the central market, they will go to the Agatha market and other lorry stations. So it means they are covering most parts that needed to be fumigated. Selling.
Let's now bring you the latest sports update. More than 150,000 people have been evacuated across Morocco within a week near Kenitra. About 40,000 displaced residents are now sheltering in makeshift camps of blue tent. Residents of the Moroccan village of Oued Amer fled after mosque loudspeakers warned that rising floodwaters were approaching. Rescue teams saved stranded residents, including children and the elderly, from rooftops using boats and helicopters as floodwaters submerged roads and farmlands. Authorities say at least 4 people, including a 2-year-old child, have died, with 1 person still missing. As families wait to return home, many queue for medical care, saying the constant fear of renewed flooding remains their big. And that's it for the bulletin. I am Lily Mohammed, the reigning television female newscaster of the year. Thank you very much for watching. For more news updates, kindly log on to starfm.com.gh. On behalf of the entire team led by Alice Aiteni, say thank you and have a good afternoon.